going to talk about Chennedy Carter, but it looks like she's blacklisted. And she will be playing professional basketball during the season, but it won't be for the WNBA.
Is attacking Caitlin Clark really worth the cost of your entire WNBA career? Chennedy Carter has just given us the answer. After over 120 days without a single WNBA team willing to sign her, and with training camp kicking off today, Carter has officially made her move to Mexico's Professional Basketball League.
Seriously, she needs to do whatever she can to get some help, get her anger under control, where she will not have another incident like the one where she slammed into Caitlin Clark. She's out of the league.
This isn't just about a player switching teams. This is the Chicago Sky's leading scorer being officially cut from the league after a deliberate attack on the WNBA's star player, Caitlin Clark. The Sky let their top player go without even attempting to get anything in return, and no one was willing to sign her despite an MVP-level performance overseas. Something serious must be behind all this. Let me know in the comments if you think Chennedy Carter deserves this. Now, let's dive into exactly what went down, where she's headed next, and how she's responding to it all. Let's get into it.
Despite the solid fourth season from Carter, an incident with Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark stood out to many. The 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year came in the league, became arguably the most popular player. Became the most popular player. There, I cleaned it up for you, which may have rubbed some people the wrong way, including Carter.
Imagine this. June 1st, 2024. The Chicago Sky face off against the Indiana Fever in a game that, at first, seemed like just another regular matchup in the long WNBA season. But little did anyone know, this one would go down in history. With the score neck and neck the entire game, it came down to a dramatic 71-70 victory for the Fever. The atmosphere was already tense, but then, in the blink of an eye, everything changed.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
The incident went down right after a Chicago basket. As the players moved to the other end of the court, there was a brief moment where Caitlin Clark and Chennedy Carter crossed paths. Normally, this would be just another routine part of the game, but what happened next was far from typical. Carter, seemingly going about her business, made a sudden and deliberate change in her path. It wasn't subtle, it was calculated. She purposely stepped into Clark's path and delivered a hip check that knocked the rookie to the floor. And to top it off, Angel Reese was caught on camera immediately after, jumping and clapping on the sidelines, celebrating the moment.
So she was signed to the Chicago Sky with Teresa Weatherspoon, with Angel Reese, with Camila Cardoso, and the rest of the folks. And then we get to the body check. This was originally ruled an away from the ball foul, but it was obviously a flagrant foul. It really upset a lot of people, which really escalated the issue. And it was really just poor sportsmanship on Kennedy's.
The collision wasn't just a hard foul. It wasn't even a typical basketball move. It was something completely unexpected, something that caused the entire arena to collectively hold its breath. The live broadcast captured every second of the incident, and you could hear the commentators' voices shift from analyzing the game to expressing pure shock. "What was that?" echoed throughout the crowd as Caitlin Clark hit the floor. The referees didn't waste time, immediately calling it a regular foul. But in that moment, everyone knew this was going to need a closer look. The officials quickly gathered around the monitor, reviewing the footage that would soon be all over social media. Their initial call was a common foul, but after a closer look, it was upgraded to a flagrant. The next day, the confirmation came. The contact wasn't just non-basketball, it was potentially dangerous.
It's one thing pushing Caitlin Clark, and it's another thing blindsiding her. Like, I don't think there's no justification for that. Like, to be honest, we can be honest.
What stood out the most about this incident wasn't just the hit itself, but Caitlin Clark's reaction. While many players might have jumped up ready for a confrontation, Clark simply got back on her feet, composed herself, and kept playing. No drama, no escalation. Just a rookie showing the poise of a seasoned veteran in a high-pressure moment. This stark contrast between Carter's aggression and Clark's calm only fueled the growing narrative around the incident. Instead of analyzing shooting percentages or defensive plays, plays. Discussion shifted to dissecting Carter's every move. Was she targeting Clark because she was a rookie? Was this motivated by personal or professional jealousy? These questions started to pile up while the actual basketball took a back seat.
Something's got to wake her up too. You know? I mean, something's got to wake her up and say, man, I could be in the WNBA right now, starting on a team, being their leading scorer. I've got to get my temper and my head under control. I got to figure it out somehow.
What no one saw coming in that moment, neither Carter, Clark, nor anyone watching, was that this brief 5-second sequence would drastically change Carter's career path. This wasn't just a bad move made in the heat of the game. It marked the start of her professional downfall. That one physical play set off a chain reaction that would ultimately lead to her being pushed out of the league.
There's no doubt Chennedy Carter is extremely talented, but she's got to get her head screwed on straight.
As if the hit itself wasn't enough to damage Carter's reputation, what happened next made things even worse. When the cameras turned to Carter after the game, giving her a chance to explain or possibly apologize, her response only fueled the fire, making an already bad situation far worse.
She knocked Caitlin Clark to the floor. We all saw it, a flagrant foul. And many people, including myself, thought it was borderline assault. It was awful.
As Carter walked into the post-game press conference, the cameras kept rolling, giving her the perfect opportunity to shift the narrative. One well-thought-out comment could have turned everything around. An apology, a simple explanation, or even just acknowledging what had happened might have softened the situation. Instead, with reporters giving her a chance to address the obvious, Carter responded with 7 words that would end up causing even more damage than the original hit. I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions.
And then Chennedy just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that moment between you and Caitlin. What was that play, what was said, and kind of what led to.
Next question.
Yeah, like Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit.
Yeah.
After
I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That's enough.
We're good. She's good.
Those 7 words quickly spread through the basketball world, gaining traction at an astonishing rate. Within hours, sports analysts who might have brushed off the on-court incident as just part of the game found themselves struggling to defend Carter's post-game response. Her refusal to address the situation turned what could have been a short-lived story into a week-long debate about her character. While the hip check had already raised some eyebrows, her response sparked even bigger red flags.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but I think it's just like, just respond, calm down, let your play do the talking. It is what it is. It's a physical game. Go make the free throw and then execute on offense. And I feel like that's kind of what we did, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
What made Carter's response even more damaging was how it stood in stark contrast to Clark's handling of the situation. While Carter avoided taking any responsibility, Clark told reporters, "Basketball's competitive, I get it. Emotions can take over. It's happened to me too." One player showed maturity and empathy, while the other displayed a glaring lack of accountability, a move that had league executives talking behind closed doors.
And there has not been a peep about anywhere that she could be landing in this free agency. So a lot of people, including myself, are wondering, is she worth the risk now?
The perception problem quickly went beyond just frustrated fans on social media. Team executives and league officials, the ones making the hiring decisions, were also paying close attention. In professional sports, talent is crucial, but it's rarely the only factor. The real question shifted from can she play to is she worth the trouble? Carter's dismissive attitude started causing issues within the Chicago Sky's locker room. Teammates and coaches reportedly reacted negatively to her comments, sparking tension behind the scenes.
She can score. She can score with the lights out. I mean, she can. She's pure offense, a pure shooting guard, scoring guard, an instant offense. But if you're a team, do you really want her on the team? I wouldn't.
The damage didn't just stop at how the public viewed her. It caused real tension within her own team. The comments Carter made only added to the strain, making an already tough situation almost impossible to manage. At its heart, basketball is all about teamwork. When one player refuses to own up to actions that hurt the entire organization, it breaks the trust that's vital for success. As a result, the Chicago Sky made the tough decision to let her go in free agency, offering her no contract. And to make matters worse, no other team took a chance on her. One GM even anonymously said, "We wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole."
Can you break down that situation that happened?
Yeah. So In basketball a little bit, there's things called talking, what you like to call smack or whatever everybody likes to call it.
Yeah.
Plays before things are said, you know, that's a part of basketball.
For almost a year, Carter stayed quiet about the incident until just last week when she finally broke her silence during an interview with the controversial podcaster Neon. Her explanation, it was just a light tap. Yes, the same hit that knocked Clark to the ground and led to an immediate flagrant foul call. In Carter's version of events, that moment was nothing more than a casual love tap between friends.
I think a play before, maybe I was elbowed. Okay, that happens. Think the next play down, maybe something was said, and then maybe there was like a little clip of somebody like yelling in my face. And then we go down the court, then I hit like a little bucket, you feel me? Come down, hit like a little nice little mid-range pull up. And then I just like, you know, just give her like a little like, I'm here. Like, you know, I don't think it was, you know what's crazy? Me and my brother went back and watched, and we seen a lot of clips in the NBA of guys getting like pushing LeBron. Like I think it was Jeff Teague or somebody who like pushed LeBron out of bounds, like said, man, I was mad because like we couldn't stop him.
You've got to give some credit for sticking to the story. After watching the replay countless times, it's clear to most viewers that Carter intentionally changed her direction to make contact, but now, suddenly, it's being downplayed as a simple brush in a crowded elevator. This late attempt at damage control raises a bigger question. Why speak up now, months later, with an explanation that nobody is buying?
So I'm just like, it's like one of those things, like it happens in basketball. I know people try to say, oh, it's not one of those things.
It's not a personal thing, it's a competitive thing.
It happens in basketball, and like it's just one of those things. But like, yeah, it's kind of what happened. Then it spiraled out of control.
And then the media takes whatever narrative they want to
you
put out.
watch every game, every single game, to see if you can find any deflects in my game, and like, it's really nothing that you probably could say too much about. So then you have trolls, and that's why I said they're gonna be around regardless. But yeah, it was just like a nice little like tap, like I'm here, not to like harm you or anything. You know, if you want to push somebody, you're gonna like full force.
The timing here feels a bit too strategic. It seems like Carter, seeing her basketball opportunities fade, tried to repair her image just enough to keep her career afloat. But her half-hearted attempt at an explanation only confirmed what many had already suspected. She wasn't willing to truly own up to her actions.
I mean, that happens, man. Like, it's one of those things. I'm a great player, she's a great player. It looks a certain way. Everybody's gonna have their views on it. But my personal view is, you know, I don't have anything against her. She's a great player, and so am I. And I've got buckets all that season, you know what I'm saying? So, just one of those things that, I love it though. They think I hate it, I love it. I love when it gets riled up and juicy like that.
You feed off of like what people say and shit, and it makes you more motivated.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Oh yeah, I love the hate. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What makes Carter's situation so intriguing is that no one doubts her basketball skills. Her 17.5 points per game last season marked a career high, and based on talent alone, several WNBA teams should have been eager to sign her. Yet the combination of that flagrant foul and her response afterward made her toxic in the eyes of the league.
She did. She stopped and went through. Like, oh. Like, that is not... We watched the clip. There is no way that we're letting this happen. Like, saying that it was nothing, like this is not just a tap.
Basketball executives know that team chemistry is crucial, especially in women's basketball, where unity often makes the difference between success and failure. Bringing Carter on board wasn't just about adding a skilled scorer. It also meant potentially disrupting the delicate balance in the locker room. Her refusal to take responsibility for her actions raised major concerns about how she would handle coaching feedback or future challenges.
This is crazy, and this changes everything, because all this time, we've been waiting on Chennedy Carter to take responsibility for what she did to Caitlin Clark. It shows me, I ain't even got to watch all this footage right here, but I am going to look at it. But it's showing me right now that she still is not taking responsibility for her actions. She's finna blame this whole situation on Caitlin Clark supposedly talking smack to her.
While many fans first heard of Carter after the infamous hip check, those in the WNBA had been quietly concerned about her for years. The reality is, Carter's professional struggles started long before she ever faced Caitlin Clark on the court. Rewind to 2021, when Carter was with the Atlanta Dream. Midway through the season, the team suspended her for what they called conduct detrimental to the team. This wasn't a small matter. It was a major mid one-season suspension, following a vague dispute that caused a serious disruption to team dynamics. The Dream's decision to bench one of their promising young players sent a clear message throughout the league. Carter might have some chemistry issues.
Atlanta Dream did suspend her in the middle of the sophomore season, basically saying she was a detriment to the team and the team culture. So then the Atlanta Dream decided to trade her to the Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks.
After her time with Atlanta, Carter was traded to the Los Angeles Sparks, but her issues followed her. Despite her impressive scoring ability, reports started to emerge that Carter's playing time was cut back due to her behavior. In other words, her conduct was once again causing problems. The Sparks coaching staff made it clear that they were prioritizing team chemistry over individual scoring, opting to reduce her minutes despite her offensive skills.
I mean, good luck. Good luck. I don't know who's going to take her. I don't know what teams are going to take her. No, I don't think she's going to the Indiana Fever. I mean, yeah, bring her in after what happened. I don't think.
Patterns started to form around Carter, one that's hard for any player to shake off. Talent overshadowed by temperament. By the time she joined the Chicago Sky, concerns about her difficult personality had escalated into full-blown issues among league executives. What's most telling, though, is this. Despite putting up an impressive 14.6 points per game and shooting 47.3% over her career, teams were still reluctant to sign her. One anonymous executive even called her radioactive, a shocking label for someone with so much scoring potential. This wasn't just idle chatter. This was the consensus among the people making decisions across the league.
During the 2024 WNBA season, guard Chennedy Carter emerged as a key player for the Chicago Sky, leading the team in scoring with 17.5 points per game, a career high. She would still be probably their best pure offensive weapon if she was still on that team. Now, there's a world where Camila Cardoso, and I've said this, will be their best player this year, provided they allow her to ball, or provided Angel Reese gets the hell out of the way, one of the two.
The clearest sign of how far Carter's reputation had fallen came after her impressive 2024 season with the Chicago Sky. Despite leading the team in scoring with a career-high 17.5 points per game and playing in a personal best 33 games, the Sky made the shocking decision not to extend her a qualifying offer. Let that sink in for a second. This was a team that let their top scorer walk away without getting anything in return. This wasn't about basketball. It was a clear message about team values and culture. The Sky made it known to the entire league that Carter's scoring ability wasn't enough to outweigh the off-court issues she brought with her. And in a telling twist, not a single other team in the WNBA reached out to sign her, even as they were filling out their rosters for the 2025 season.
Fast forward to Friday, Carter, who saw her one-year deal with the Sky come to an end, has yet to sign with the WNBA team. With training camp right around the corner, Carter has elected to join a different league as she awaits another shot at the WNBA. Chennedy Carter has taken her talents to the Mexican, and I'm not even trying to pronounce that, the LMBPF. Long story short, it's in Mexico, and it looks like a women's Mexican basketball league, professional basketball league.
After more than 120 days in free agency without receiving a contract offer, Carter's time in the WNBA has come to an end. She's signed with Adelita de Chihuahua, a team in Mexico's women's basketball league, marking a clear shift away from the world's top women's basketball league. The Mexican team proudly announced her arrival on Instagram, celebrating her past achievements and officially welcoming her to their roster.
She's joining a women's basketball league in Mexico. The WNBA thing looks like a wrap for her for now. And in case you're wondering, she averaged 17.5 points a game last year and literally shot 50% from the field for the Chicago Sky. And she's 26 years old. I get it. I mean, she's got to lay in the bed she made.
Carter won't be embarking on her Mexican basketball journey alone. She'll be joined by guard Victoria Vivians, who spent 6 seasons with the Indiana Fever before a short stint with the Seattle Storm in 2024. For Carter, this move marks both a fresh start and a significant step down from the spotlight and prestige of the WNBA. Can she shine in the LNBPF? Almost certainly, as her talent remains intact. It's her reputation that's taken a hit. But the real question is whether this is just a temporary detour or the end of her time at the highest levels of women's basketball.
And, I mean, I don't know what's going to be a wake-up call. I would hope Chennedy Carter would turn her focus of all of her anger into something positive and she would become a great WNBA player. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen this season.
The WNBA isn't just raising the bar on the court, it's changing the entire culture. As Chennedy Carter moves to Mexico, the message is crystal clear. Talent alone won't cut it anymore. Character matters just as much.
Chennedy Carter, she got a new job. Adios, amigos.
On the other hand, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are creating a completely different story for 2025. With record-breaking attendance and skyrocketing viewership, Clark's influence goes far beyond the game. Her jersey is leading merchandise sales, driving an incredible 11-fold increase in overall player merchandise revenue. The contrast couldn't be more clear. While Chennedy Carter works to rebuild her career in Mexico, the WNBA is solidifying its professional standards with tougher rules and rising expectations, demonstrating what the league truly values today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Does Chennedy deserve this? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Click on the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.